everybody, it's Katie. I'm going to try something different today. I'm trying to talk a little bit quiet so I don't wake up August, who's snapping in the next room. I have to be here in front of the computer because I'm going to try to answer some of the questions asked in comments. Comments are always, replying to comments is always sort of the missing piece. I think, like, for my channel, that when my priorities are in check, it's just something I never ever get a chance to do, but I feel bad about it, you know. If like in a perfect world, I would be able to just sit down and give really thoughtful responses to everybody, because I read comments and I really love getting them. Whatever, it just doesn't happen. And I feel especially bad when people ask questions where I'm like, oh, that would be like so easy to answer, but I just never get a chance to actually do that. So let me know if this kind of video, when we get to the end, let me know if if you enjoyed it, if something you want to watch, you know, and I can try to do them periodically. There are questions from like all sorts of different recent videos of mine. I'm not going to identify like which video it came from. So the first question is from Kelly Owens. It says, what have you been self-employed doing? Do you mind sharing? I definitely don't mind. I have been working from home as like a paralegal, which is the job that I had in a previous location for 5.5 years, I think. I worked in an office, like in an immigration law office. And I was full-time before Alice was born, and then after my kids were born, I became like increasingly part-time. And I think, yeah, around this time last year, I just stopped going to the office. It just worked better for me. It worked better for my boss, whatever. So I just do a very small amount of work, like basically like a couple of days a month, unless he has like special projects. So I do his billing and, you know, like preparing his bills and then actually like sending them out by email. And I occasionally do prepare like wills and power of attorneys and those kind of like probate estate planning type documents for people. So those are like the special projects, maybe once a month. Interruption number one. Where did I leave off? So it doesn't bring in like a ton of money, definitely not, but it's a like minimal time commitment. You know, it's something I don't mind doing, and I feel like it's good to kind of maintain that relationship. Who knows in the future? I mean, I'm not going to move back there, but who knows in the future if there's like some other need that, you know, that previous boss has that I could fill that may bring in more money or whatever. So that's one thing. The other thing I do that is also super part-time is it's sort of seasonal. I grade, I score like standardized tests from home, and that's through a company called Pearson. It's like one of these, you know, big like testing people who create the tests in public schools. And I've been doing it for years. I probably signed up shortly after college or something like that. So it's all computer based, and like I said, it's just there are certain projects, they tend to be in the spring and summer, and you're supposed to commit to 20 hours a week, and that is really, really hard for me to do, even, you know, for a couple of weeks. So I normally do just as much as I can until the project is finished, and again, that'll bring in like, you know, an extra like maybe a few $100s for a couple, you know, a month or two. So we're coming up on that season. I'm really excited for it. Okay, so I hope that answered your question. The next question is from Jamie. Jamie Loves Life is her YouTube name. She says, so Alice doesn't do quiet time while August is napping. Basically not anymore. So Alice is 4.5. I did when she stopped napping reliably. I would still like have her lie down. She would only ever nap if I like lay down with her. So Alice's nap time was never like, you know, me time. It was never a time that I could ever get anything done. I would just like, I would sacrifice that alone time or whatever just to have her nap because she needed the nap, you know, for like her behavior the rest of the day, for just her to feel good and everything. So, yeah, so I was not used to like having a bunch of free time anyway when she was napping. So when she stopped sleeping, actually, you know, we would read books, and I would really try to keep her like in a dark room doing quiet things, whatever. But at this point, it's like, it is really hard to do that. So we end up just basically making it quality time for me and her. This is a time slot where she and I will read our chapter books. We'll read whatever, and we'll just kind of like talk, and, you know, we do try to like lay on the couch together or something. Some days she is really tired and she'll say, like I'm just gonna lay here and occasionally she'll fall asleep. If I really, really have something to do, like I need to make a phone call, I need to do work, whatever, you know, I will ask her to like sit down and look at a book herself while I do that, hoping to get like 15 minutes or something to accomplish that specific task. But honestly, 5 minutes later, like she's coming to look for me, and it's just not worth fighting it. If I try to send her back and get her occupied again with something else, she just gets really like hurt by that. So I've kind of just rolled over on that one. It occurred to me this week that maybe sometime in the next year, August will stop napping, and that thought terrifies me because I have gotten really used to him taking good naps and me having, you know, some downtime, and I really look forward to it, and I'm really, that is going to be a hard transition when that is gone. Okay, I'm just scanning for question marks. Jennifer from Modern Mama of 4 says, do you do paper books only, or are you into ebooks too? I'm not into ebooks. There's this funny meme that I can't show you on the computer. Well, I don't know. Maybe there's a way to show you. There's some language. I'm not going to put it on my video, but maybe I'll send it to you, Jennifer. No, I don't do ebooks. I find it really unsatisfying. I also, like, we don't have any kind of tablet or anything, so I wouldn't read something like that on my phone, and I probably wouldn't like sit at the desktop and you know, read anything that way. And I just don't, I like holding a book in my hand. That's what it comes down to. So I'm old school that way. Okay, next question. This is Sarah from BioMommy. What did you do to minimize stress when you guys were moving? She's also doing a big move. So maybe I sort of misspoke. I think what I meant when I talked about minimizing stress during that process, it was mostly like minimizing the kids' stress, keeping their routine the same, like helping them really kind of like maintain relationships with people and stuff during that time, and trying to keep things normal for them. Their room was like the last that we broke down. Their stuff was like the first that we set up when we got into our new place. You know, I was really just trying to make it like the smoothest transition for them. Mike and I did not really minimize stress that much because it's just a crazy, totally crazy process. So he and I, as soon as the kids would go to bed, like I would really try not to do too many like moving kind of things during the day while the kids were around, were awake, because they found it really disruptive. Like they would just start, I could tell that it was stressing them, you know? So as soon as the kids were in bed, we would just work for like hours and hours and hours, packing things, cleaning things, fixing things, whatever, you know, whatever the task at hand was. That was just, it's just incredibly stressful. So we just, we would though plan to take nights off. We'd have to plan like way in advance, but we would say like, okay, you know, we would spend say 3 or 4 hours every evening, like working on moving stuff for weeks and weeks and months before we actually moved to listed the house and all that stuff. We would be like, oh, 10 days from now, like let's take Friday night off. And what that meant was that we would just have like a date night in. We wouldn't do any moving stuff. We would just focus on like just the normal things, cleaning up the dinner and whatever, and get the kids in bed. And then we would go in the backyard and we would just have a night where we listen to music. We would look at the stars, drink beer, just talk, not talk about moving. So that was like a little bit of sanity amidst all the chaos, and that's something I'd recommend if you can do it, if you have the time. Julia from Mama Mill Called the Moo says, tutorial on the ribbon sight words thing. I made Alice this, I don't have it in front of me obviously, I have made Alice this sort of like this thing I call the word machine. It's like consonant, verb, consonant thing with ribbon spools and everything. I probably won't do a tutorial on it because it's not like my idea. But it's from Parents Magazine, and I will try to search quickly and see if I can find, if they have that online. I will link to it in the description box. If not, Julia, I have a photo on my phone that I can send you. Let me know. Okay, Katie from Katie Sec. Katie, congratulations if you watch this. Congratulations on your baby boy. You say, Aurora, your daughter was really sensitive to all disposable wipes. I was wondering what disposable wipes you used. Okay, so we started using disposable wipes when Alice was maybe like 6 months old or something, and she started like rolling all over the place when I was changing her diaper. And I would use disposable wipes. I would use cloth wipes at home still, but disposable wipes like when we were out. And I think we generally used 7th generation. Never had any issues. I should say I don't think my kids have never really had any issues with any sort of disposable diaper stuff. Now we are using baby Gannix that I get at Target, and again, no issues. I think the baby Gannix feel more like cloth to me, like they're a little bit, yeah, they're a little bit softer, I think, and 7th generation are a little bit more plasticky and thin, I think. Okay, the Going Green Mama, I think that's Heather. She asks, could you share recipes and meals? Yes and no. So recipes are so hard for me to make. I know some people just do these like beautiful videos. For me, it's very difficult. It's very like to get the right camera angles and things like that, and the editing, and I don't know. I don't enjoy making them. That said, I do have some recipe videos I've made in the past, so I'll link to my playlist of like my family favorite recipes or something like that. Like all the recipes that are sort of special to our family or that we use all the time. And I do have ideas for a few more of those that I'd like to make, but the execution is just, it's so hard for me to actually just do it. In terms of meals, I also do like what's for dinner meal videos, and I haven't done one in a while, so I can definitely do one soon. I could also do a video. I'm thinking maybe like I'll do another grocery haul sometime soon from Aldi, because I love my Aldi, and I'll talk about like what the meal plan is with those groceries. You know what I mean? If that sounds good. Someone asked if I'm Polish. I am not. I do get asked a lot of questions about my ethnicity though, and I'll probably do like a frequently asked question little video just answering that. I think I'm gonna do like a short little video talking about my channel name and my ethnicity, because those sort of go hand in hand. Okay, this is probably getting long, so I'll do just one more. The question is from Amanda Mahaffey. This is a long time ago, I'm sorry. Can you do a video where you introduce your pets and tell us your story of getting them? I've never thought about doing that. Yeah, maybe. Maybe I will. We have one cat now. We used to have 2, but maybe I'll tell the story of both of them, because the old cat used to be in videos and stuff back in the day. So yeah, I'll think about that one. Okay, so I'll stop there. Thank you guys for watching, and please do let me know if like this was at all enjoyable. If you want me to do this kind of thing in the future, because I think I can. August didn't wake up. I think this works. Take care, guys.